What's going on, guys? Corbin with Complete Home Concepts. So today we're looking at fireplaces versus fireplace inserts. What's the difference? What are they? Which one do I need? And as we look at that, we'll look at the different types. We'll dive into a little bit of how to pick the right one. I want to actually dive into how to pick the right one when we get to the different types, because it's a lot of information out there and there's a lot of things that you got to do right there. So main subject, what is a fireplace? What is a fireplace insert? And as you can see behind me, the same fireplace that's been prevalent in a lot of my videos. This is a Birmingham 42 from Heatolator, which is a nice big wood burning fireplace. Now, I do have a set of gas logs in there. That just makes it aesthetically pleasing for my customers, but it doesn't do much. I can sit here all day and I'm not going to be cooking. I'll be a little warm because I am about 1.5 feet from the flame, but if I step out another foot, I'm not going to be hot. Okay, so we'll dive into a little bit more with gas logs another day, but we've got a fireplace here. This entire display, and this is a display here, this isn't somebody's house, was built around the fireplace. A fireplace, whether it be a masonry fireplace, a zero clearance fireplace, a heat form, I can dive into the specifics on what all those are, but no matter what, when it comes to those units, those types of boxes that are fireboxes, the entire house is built around them. If you go look at new construction, your fireplace will be put in at the framing stage. It's one of the first things to go in. It is the first appliance to go in because nothing else needs to be built around it. Then they'll build the rest of the house around your fireplace, and then finally you'll get a nice house with a fireplace inside of it. Okay. Whereas a gas insert, or wood insert, pellet insert, those are all designed to fit into an existing fireplace. Okay, you have your masonry fireplaces, which are made of stone or brick, concrete blocks. Those guys are true old school wood fireplaces. And you don't get anything more rustic than those. They're some of my favorite fireplaces out there. Those guys are going to have really no set dimension there. They're going to be tall, they're going to be wide, they're going to be short and skinny. They're all different because they're all handmade. And 90% of the time, they're all handmade. Then you have your zero clearance fireplaces. So a zero clearance fireplace is going to be one that is metal. Okay, it's newer. It's going to be much newer. Think 80s, 90s, today. This is a zero clearance fireplace. There's metal up here. There's metal behind these surrounds. We take you to the other side of this wall. There's metal. It's going to have a nice big metal flue. That's the other thing, is a metal flue. It's not a big masonry chimney with clay tiles. It's a metal flue. So then you get into heat forms and a lot of other ones that I'm not going to dive into. But with your zero clearance fireplaces, their dimensions are going to be a little bit more standard. This one is a Birmingham 42, but it is a very tall 42-inch fireplace. I've got another 42-inch wood burner that's really only that tall. So your inserts are designed to go inside of these, and there's multiple different sizes for the reasons I just talked about, that they really have to fit into a myriad of just different size boxes. Right now there's 35, there's 30, and new for this year with my manufacturer is going to be 25s. I've got 2 different units that go down to a 25-inch size. Which is great for me because it adds to my repertoire of how I can take care of some of those customers. For me, which I'm not like every other installer in my city, and maybe you have one in yours as well, where they can take this zero clearance fireplace and they can remove it. For an install like this one where there's stone on the front, I'm going to look and see if it's on an outside wall. And I'm going to pull it out the back. If I can pull it out the back, I can put any gas fireplace back in. I don't have to look at an insert. Whereas the next step is going to be, I'll make some small modifications in here that will make an insert fit. Those were my only two options a year ago. So I was limited by that. Now with a masonry fireplace, I'm limited to the size of the box. Nothing else. There's nothing else I can do. So now with that 25-inch unit, I don't have to necessarily modify this box. And my customer doesn't have to pay for me to pull the box out of the wall for them to put something new in. If this wasn't stone, I'd pull it through the front of the house, the inside, because that's a lot cheaper and a lot easier than rebuilding an entire outside of your house. So from there we get into inserts. I'm going to show you a couple inserts. We're going to kind of go through them, but we're not going to dive too far into them because I'm going to have other videos that are devoted to just gas inserts. And because gas inserts are so popular, especially it's about to be fall here in Kansas City, so at this time when I'm making this video, inserts are popular right now. It refreshes that 30, 40-year-old home, 100-year-old home. I did 2 for a Tudor house a year ago. That house was over 100 years old. One of the fireplaces was so massive I had to do a custom surround on it that just made it look so different. That's what's great about an insert. It completely changes everything about your house. So let's go look at a couple. We'll dive into them. We'll see if we can get a little understanding on what is a gas insert. What is a gas fireplace? I'm pretty sure we got that part figured out. All right, as you guys can see, I've got a myriad of choices here. I've got the units actually burning down here, and then I've got a lot of fronts and surrounds that are up above it, and we'll go through a little bit of that. Now, these are all gas inserts, and they are actually all from one manufacturer. Now, they're going to be 2 different brands here. I have Heat and Glow and Quadrifire on display. Both brands go about it a little bit differently, but essentially you get the same outcome. So, with an insert, with a gas insert, and I will have an entire video on how to dive into how to choose your gas insert, how to choose your pellet insert, how to choose your wood insert, because I've got them all. Hey, guess what? I've got a couple electric inserts as well. We can go dive into those at some point too. So these guys are purpose built. Let me get that straight. They are purpose built. Most of the time, these guys are going to be going into a already established house. So they're sliding into an already established fireplace. And I said most of the time, there's very few exceptions there. They will be going into an existing fireplace. That's why it's called an insert. So once you pick your fuel type, the next thing you've got to pick is how big is the unit. And I've dove into that in each individual video, and I will have those linked down below as I create them and as we get into them. But as a quick kind of snippet, you got to measure that fireplace that you're already going into. I don't just need, how wide it is. I need to know how wide the front is, how tall the front is, how wide the back is, how tall the back is, everything else around it. Now, check out those other videos because I will dive into those individually, but it is a gas insert or a wood insert or a pellet insert. So you have to make sure that you hit your clearances. You have to make sure that everything fits. You can't just wing it, okay? Let's look at these inserts. So first we've got the box, which is great, okay? That's gonna be universal on every insert. We've got the actual burning box, okay? The next thing, and this is where it gets a little bit more complicated, there's a lot of options there. It doesn't matter which unit we're gonna look at, we're gonna have options when it comes to not only the front, but the surround. What's great about my different brands is they do offer different fronts, they do offer different surrounds, as well as different colors. Heat and Glow's got the most colors because it's Heat and Glow. They're going to be the premier line, especially when it comes to my brands. But they're gonna have a bronze, they're gonna have a black, and they're gonna have a graphite, which nobody else that I sell has that. The next thing is gonna be Quadrifire. They're gonna have a different style bronze, and then they have the classic black as well. Then you go into, once you pick your fronts, you're going to pick that color. Then we're going to do a surround. You really don't have much say in the surround because it's not really focused on design. What it's focused on is covering that hole, that big hole that I was standing in front of earlier. Actually, I think I was sitting. It's designed to affix this to the wall and just close up that hole. Now this is a gas insert, or a wood insert, or a pellet insert. So when I'm pushing that into that hole, the other thing I'm doing is I'm closing up that hole, okay? So they're meant to burn hotter, but they're also gonna make everything else in the house a little bit more efficient. Now, they can't change the entire house. If the entire house is a leaky sieve, it's just not gonna happen, okay? But it will force more hot air into the house. It will eliminate more cold air coming into the house, and it will eliminate more loss of hot air going out. That's the great thing about an insert, is it does change that room drastically. So finally, we've picked the unit, whatever fuel source we went to, whatever brand we went to. The next step is going to be the same thing. It's just going to be how we do it. So with wood, we're going to send a liner down your existing chimney. With it being a wood-burning fireplace, you're going to have a very big flue. And that's what's great about these, is we're going to send this new liner down it. Your existing flue is now just going to be a protective casing for that. And there you go, okay? That liner is going to go down there. It's going to complete the unit. You're going to put a cap on there. Depending on the type of fireplace, you're going to have different styles of caps. I know for my gas ones, I've got a standard stainless steel one. I go to a square black and then a square bronze for those that want, a little bit better look. And that completes your entire unit. Now, what's amazing about these inserts is it's a one-day project. We don't have to tear up the fireplace. We don't have to tear out stone or tear out drywall, then remove the fireplace, disconnect all of that flue that's already existing there, install a new fireplace, get more drywall on there, more framing, do the framing before the drywall, and then pick, are we doing tile? Are we doing stone? Are we not doing anything at all? We just want drywall. You don't have to go through all of that. It's an insert. You push it in, you make sure everything's tight, and you call it a day. The next thing you know, you're turning it on, and you're enjoying a brand new, warm environment. So, thanks for joining me. I will have actual videos down below that will dive into how to choose the right gas insert for you, how to choose the right wood insert for you, and we'll have quite a few pellet ones as well. And we'll actually dive into every series when it comes to the gas inserts. There's a lot of things I like about the new Heat and Glows, the new Quadrifiers. There's a lot of things I don't like as well, so I want to be pretty honest there. And we'll dive into those videos. So look forward to those. Once again, hit that subscribe button, hit the likes, comment down below. If you want to see something and I'm not showing it, let me know. Let's get you taken care of. Thanks.